During the prison escape, 3 members of the Dream SMP were hanging around the outside of the prison in super dark cloaks and were watching over the whole thing. We didn't see them intervene with the escape and we didn't see anyone interact with them, they were just stood mysteriously in the background. So let's talk about who they were and what they were doing there, but also what does this have to do with Quacksy's lore streams? Because the whole prison event may have just been foreshadowed in one of the first Quacksy lore streams. But I do want to remind you that on January 1st at midnight UK, the merch is dropping. Be there because I'm making it super limited. I don't want tons of people to have this, so there may be only 100 t-shirts or more, who knows. Now during the prison breakout event, you may have seen in the background of some people's streams a few figures with like dark cloaks on. And really throughout the whole event, they were never in the foreground. They were just kind of hanging out in the background and they didn't really speak to anybody and nobody really took too much notice to them. You may have seen Nikki or a few other streamers who were actually live on the event glance over to their direction, but they never really took full notice and addressed why they were there. And this is why a lot of people just didn't even notice that they were in this event. But during the stream, I actually did take notice to them and I was really curious to who they were and why they were there. So the first thing I did was go into Name MC and search up a bunch of different names. And one of the first names I searched up was Quacksy because I did recognize this skin from one of the previous lore streams. And searching it up, I did find Quacksy changing his skin into a kind of cloak outfit. Now this outfit has never really been used before other than for a few lore stream cutscenes, and it's never really been explained why he wears this and what it means. I kind of link it to him doing something dodgy and him trying to hide his identity from the rest of the server, which means we may get to see this character in other lore streams just in the background, hanging around, kind of taking notice of things, and maybe he'll pop in every now and again. But this doesn't explain why there was 2 other people with him, and as I said, they were from Las Nevadas, and the only way I would know that is if I know who they were. So again, I did the exact same thing, went on to Name MC and search up a bunch of names and kind of linked the two, that Quacksy would probably take somebody from Las Nevadas, and found out that it was Foolish and Fundy. So now we know who they are, let's talk about the Quacksy lore stream, which we actually got to see these people and hear sirens, which we assume is from the prison. Now ages ago, Quacksy did a lore stream which at the end was a bit mysterious. It went into a cutscene with a bunch of rain and horses going through certain areas of the SMP, and it turned out that these horses were skeleton horses, and the more you'd go up and see the people, they were all in dark cloaks with swords. You never got to know their identity until now, and we didn't really know what they were doing. There was no explanation or anything like that. But one of the things that really did stand out was the sirens going off in the distance. And at that time, everybody assumed that these were the prison sirens, which really got everybody hyped for the prison event, which at that point didn't happen for like another 6 months. But what I assume from this is that they actually did kind of have a sort of plan for the prison event, and some things in the real life got in the way, so they had to delay it until now. Which means that this event had kind of foreshadowed the whole thing for ages, and that the 3 characters being there with cloaks on isn't just a coincidence or something that they chose to do on the day. It was something they planned to do ages ago, and they wanted to kind of show people through this lore stream, and then hopefully people would see them during the lore stream in the background. And obviously, because of the distance between the Quacksy lore stream and this lore stream, a lot of people kind of just forgot about that and didn't really remember anything to do with these characters. But obviously, I'm reminding you that these characters probably have a bigger meaning than you think. And it also brings on the question, why did they have swords? Were they planning on stopping Dream? Because at that time, they didn't even interact with anybody. They didn't even get close to Dream. Maybe they were fighting off some of the withers that got spawned around, but really it just looked like they were kind of taking notice of the whole event and scouting it rather than even getting involved and trying to even fight Dream. I reckon if the 3 of them even went in with the swords, they may have just been able to take somebody out. But this also brings on the question, did they let him escape? Did they want him to run away from everybody so that maybe in the future they could actually kill him themselves? Because I highly doubt that anybody from the prison, especially Sam, is going to let people kill Dream, as he was shouting to Dream to just come back into the prison. So maybe they realized that if they went in now and tried to kill him, it wouldn't work, so they're going to let him run away, and when he thinks he's safe from everybody, they'll be there because they've been following in the background and they've been hidden in the night. Now looking through a few people's lore streams, I went over to Sam's lore stream where he did a kind of Sam POV for the whole event, and in it, between Technoblade breaking into the prison and getting to Dream, Sam goes down to Las Nevadas and tells Quacksy about the escape happening and that Dream is still in the prison, because at that time, remember that Quacksy didn't even know that Dream was still in the prison, and Sam's asking for their help to basically stop this whole thing from happening. All 3 of the people are there, Fundy, Foolish and Quacksy, and it kind of gives you an explanation to why they're there and how they got informed before this whole thing really like came around, but it doesn't really explain why they didn't actually go to Dream and try and fight fight him, as that was kind of the thing that Sun was looking for more people to go to Dream and trying to stop him from leaving, and these three just kind of got into cloaks and hung around the outside. I assume they were fighting off the Withers because that makes the most sense, and as you can see in the corner of the screen, Foolish and Fundy got the Wither kind of achievement. So I assume they were near it and they were fighting it off, but from what I could see, they never really intervened with the actual escape. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out the video which is on screen where we talk about how long Ghostbur has been in limbo and what he's doing over there. It's a bit deep.